Come one, come all to a beautiful show. It's gonna be awesome and some other stuff. Some other musical stuff.
You Ghostnuts, motherfucker.
Another night, another day, but always you. It's just a feeling I get when I
You trying to fuck? What's going on?
DTF. Okay. Which in other words means welcome to another episode of our podcast, episode 55. Very interesting. Not sure why.
The number is interesting, or the fact that we've gotten to 55?
Yeah, the latter. But 55 maybe could mean something for you numerology buffs out there. However, let us know. Send us an email. Send us an email of the whole fucking numbers and letters game.
It's no 33, but then again,
is it
sequential
really?
numbers, it must mean something.
True. Okay, this week we're going to be tackling the nitty-gritty, shitty foods that we eat.
Montidi.
Yeah. Very bad. Very good, some may say. We'll leave that in the air to the viewer. GMO foods, Monsanto, and this whole plant-based meat shit.
And what does GMO, if you put it backwards?
OMG. Is that what you're trying to get at?
Yeah, I don't know why I said that. It's kind of fruity, but anyway, we'll roll with it.
Fruity like the spliced fruits getting fucked around in the old Monsanto family tree.
It's funny, right? Because there's this term GMO that perpetuates throughout society, and people assume, oh, GMO, it's bad. It's a fucking abbreviation of something. Most people don't even know what GMO stands for, right? So you want to fucking spearhead that little dilemma?
GMO stands for genetically modified organisms.
Well, this isn't the Triple X Brazzers parody of fucking GMO.
I guess I better put my pants back on. Yeah, so genetically modified organism, which, speaks for itself. Why is it so bad? Why do people get scared of this word? Some may say it's because they're using 10,000 years of genetic adaptations into 10 years of mad science.
Yeah, well, look, if you look at a GMO, right, it's been happening naturally through grafting and shit for years, right? But they're just speeding up the process in a lab. And there might be, like the Powerpuff Girls, throwing in a bit of extra shit in the recipe.
Yeah, you never know. And we sort of touched, Dick, about this a little bit on the human hybrid
Speak
episode.
for yourself, yeah.
Do you remember when we talked about the human hybrid episode?
Yeah.
With animals and splicing and all that shit. We even talked about fruit getting a mandarin or some shit. Wait, no, that's just a splice of a Chinese guy and a Taiwanese bloke.
Fucking
allegedly.
Missile heading our way.
One of those ones. All right. So history of commercialized GMO foods, let's say was mainstream 20 years ago. Let's say that's when it sort of became big, as I say. It's like when Arnie wasn't whispering
You're trying to get
anymore.
it out. It's got to happen naturally.
And he just got big on steroids, like the tomatoes we eat. Yeah, so apparently it's there's actual GMO crops, over hectares of land around the world, specifically only for GMO.
Yeah, so go on.
And notable countries, as we know, the United States, which are pretty much owned all by Bill Gates and Ted Turner these days, Nazi-favored Argentina, and of course, prime testing ground India.
India, it seems like everyone is using that place as a fucking testing spot because the population is so big, the poverty is so widespread that you can get away with murder essentially.
Well, that's what they're doing,
and we'll get into it a bit later on.
So
we stated what a GMO is, right? Yeah. Genetically modified organism, but why should we care? And is it bad? Well, GMO in the scope of plants, right, refers to modifying its genetics, and it is taking a piece from something else and putting it in, let's say, a tomato, like you said, right, for a specific purpose. So this was done initially by grafting different plants together, whatever, crossbreeding to try get two favorable traits to mix, right, to one fruit. But now this is being done in a lab, and when they're doing it in a lab, who knows what they're fucking around with, right? So now, like, there's some promises with GMOs where they say, okay, these GMO crops are beneficial in the sense that you won't need to use pesticides because it has its own kind of natural pesticide built in, right? You won't need to waste money on spraying pesticides. And there's a theory that these naturally, is it natural if it's been spliced together? These pesticides reside in your gut now after eating it and destroy your healthy gut bacteria. And we all know the relationship, the symbiosis that the healthy bacteria in your gut has with you as a person, right? They say it affects mood, it affects physical health, mental health, and there's a theory, that these pesticide-free GMO fruits have some adverse effects inside of you. So GMO foods are created to look perfect, right, and taste perfect with zero actual nutrition. Yep. Like you say now, like your parents might mention, these fucking tomatoes are rubbish from the supermarket. They're big, they're
to the
hard.
old homeland.
Yeah. So they got no actual nutrition, right? And from what I understand, when they engineer the produce to be pest-proof, they're stripping out the nutrients because it is a very process of fighting off these pests, these bugs that creates these said nutrients. So we have GMO plants that are produce seeds now. You see it, seedless watermelons, seedless grapes, right? And what's that mean? It's like having a man with a dick but no balls.
Yeah.
So you can suck,
which is going around these days.
You can eat the fruit, but you won't get the juice. If you know what I'm saying.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then start pumping like juice in these vegetables and stuff. Like you got fucking a pumpkin is big enough you can put some tires on it and drive it to work, or like a
strawberries as big as your nipples. If you got them pepperonis, I'm not judging. I'm just saying. So Billy Bitch Tits can enjoy his fucking nice seedless watermelon without having to spit out a couple of seeds, but he can't like regrow the crop. Like scientists engineer the plants basically with like it's a one-time grow sort of thing.
Like a one vegetable torso.
Yes. So this is a big issue, right? This GMO shit has fucking hit India hard, as you mentioned previously, right? So India's being used as a fucking testing ground for these GMO shits, and it's created a big problem, right? So they've promised farmers in India, like these poorer farmers, not in the wealthier parts of India, use these GM seeds. You'll yield like better crops, more crops, and you won't require pesticides. So what did they do? They were a bit more expensive than the traditional crops.
Yep.
Borrow some money, buy them seeds. Fucking, there's no yield, there's no seeds. All that money in the bin, they have no money to pay back the loan. They're in debt. What do? They buy pesticides, not for their plants, but for themselves. Drink it, see you later, how's it going? I'm dead.
That's a roundabout way of making profit.
Another thing, those GM crops require double the water. They didn't specify that. Water ain't cheap. They claim to not need pesticides. Not true. They still got fucking munched by pests, and they use Commando Terminator technology.
Is that like...
That was not bad, bro.
Pretty good. Is that like synthetic biology?
In a sense.
We'll get into it later. But anyway, double the water. So like, all right, fucking China owns all the water anyway, so just more pocket to Winnie the Pooh's pocket.
Apparently, like, yeah, okay. And the Terminator technology just refers to the seeds not fucking manifesting themselves to replant it again.
Yeah.
So either like the seed doesn't replant, or you don't have the license to replant it again, so you got to pay for a new batch of seeds. One of those ones.
So interesting. Then we wheel down to Monsanto, who is sort of the leader of the free seed world. Well, not really
I
free,
like that
but
one.
Anyway, like
not really free, but yeah.
Yeah, you know where I'm getting at. So who is Monsanto? Like, what are they? Like, were they always involved in agriculture? Like, was it just a farmer back in the day? That's
more like agroculture. I'm very proud of that one.
Yeah. It's it was like a farmer who owned like a shitload of land, and what's it called? Then he's like, all right, let me just sell my beloved seeds around the world, and I'm not talking about his ball sperm.
Well, he could have done that.
He could have done that also, but anyway, let's hit it. Founded in 1901, that's going back a century, by one John Francis Queenie.
You got to be careful of someone with that name.
Especially in these days.
You've got a Queenie walking around, these spraying chemicals.
As a chemical company. So Monsanto was founded as a chemical company from the beginning, so not so humble beginnings I see, selling its first products, which were commodity food additives, like all that preservative shit you find in your Pepsi and your Cokes.
Well, I'm sure in the 1901, like they would think it's a miracle, these fucking food additives, these preservatives and shit. Like, holy shit, my food lasts forever.
And plus, like, it'd be cheaper to make anyway. And then you get like, like artificial sweetener, like saccharin and caffeine and vanillin. Yum. But these things are like, then apparently like they made a deal with like Coca-Cola and some shit. So like, they used to utilize it in their, one of those ones. And then the company, so the company was named after John's, the owner's wife's maiden name. Very cute, don't you think? Because she was part of the wealthy Jewish big buzziness Monsanto family. And shalom to all you Jews out there. In 1919, they expanded to Europe. Why? Like, with another chemical company. What for? Like, it wasn't necessary. And in 1926, they funded and made their own little town in Illinois called Monsanto. What the fuck?
So that's still around.
Let me just make a town because we can. What is it? Is it just a fucking huge yard of like crops and stuff? Is it
You think if you were homeless, you'd move there to Monsanto. All right, they might spray some chemicals on you, but you're getting free fruit.
That's it.
And vegetables.
And in 1936, they acquired research labs in Dayton, Ohio. Funny how last week we just talked about Operation Paperclip, one of those ones. Then they wanted the lab owners to work on the Manhattan Project. And the company was involved in nuclear weapons. Very interesting.
Seems like a bit of a Nazi influence got spilled in there.
Yeah, so that's only the history up until World War II. But if I get into the full history, it's gonna fucking take too long. So basically, the company is oozing out of its skin in chemicals and nuclear projects. Like, what the fuck does the Manhattan Project in World War II that dropped bombs on fucking Hiroshima, whatever it was called, and then killed all these people? Like, what's that got to do with fruit and crops? They're the biggest leader of agriculture, allegedly.
It's funny because, like, as well, when you said that they partnered with a company, Bayer, right? They also partnered with a company that produced gas for the Holocaust. One of those ones.
And they were funded by the Rockefellers. One of those ones.
One of fucking those ones.
Yeah, so, and then like, when was it, like a few years ago, Bayer ended up buying Monsanto for a whopping $66 billion US. Billion with a B.
It's pocket change for these cunts, to be honest.
And they're one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world. Funny how they haven't made a vaccine for COVID yet, but you never know, it might be
in your next fucking batch of fruit.
That's it. So little history on Monsanto. And as mentioned earlier, Monsanto spent years developing GMOs via science. But with involvement with all these big companies, could it possibly be part of a depopulation agenda? As another birthday boy was
Happy birthday.
Was very interested in getting involved in. Mr. Henry Kissinger turned 98 years old. When was it? Yesterday.
Jesus, 98 years young. That self-serving coward, and he looks like he's gonna rack up that clock and keep on going.
I don't know. He's probably got like
in Futurama. They're gonna preserve that bloke's head somewhere.
Not only, well, if you keep anything, keep his head because the rest of him looks
His
like
body's
fucking
disintegrated already.
shit. Like, I'm surprised he's not in a wheelchair, first of all. Second of all, he looks like a balloon. He's ready to pop.
Look, his metabolism has, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but he is, like you said, a fucking balloon, a human marshmallow.
I reckon he lives in...
I bet you can't even wipe his own ass anymore.
Probably not. He probably wears a diaper.
Probably just... He would, he would at that age.
And I reckon like he's got a specific room in his mansion where it's like just like different like organs, and
I bet you he smells like off milk and kimchi.
it's an interesting way to say it, especially with that connection with the Mao Zedong in China. Anyway, yeah, so he once said, control oil and you control nations. Control food and you control the people.
How did we get that recording? Tortoise is doing some heavy work.
Yeah, so he pretty much said, like, you know, whoever controls the food, you can control the people. So once you start putting the fucking noose around that potato sack, the noose will be going around your neck, and the potato sack, aka Henry Kissinger, will be laughing at you.
How many years do you reckon he's got left? 98. He's looking like shit, let's be honest.
He looks terrible.
We joke that we say the bloke's immortal, getting pumped full of who knows what. But the bloke must be surely on his way out soon.
Well, Prince Philip was in 99, almost 100 when he died.
Maybe they join this like 100 club. Like when they're close to 100, they just fucking whisk them away with Walt Disney into some cryogenics facility, and you know.
Bill Gates Sr. was 95 as well.
But he was a tall body. You know what they say? You're a big human. The organs work harder. The lifespan shrinks. You know what I'm saying? So all you 4-foot people out there.
Well, Henry Kissinger's about 4 foot now.
In a chair, yeah.
Yeah. So, very interesting with that donkey.
Okay.
But what's it called? we're gonna chuck in the show note. Do you remember when someone from Monsanto, a spokesman, was asked on television to drink water that had this
It was treated, right? Like a kind of was a desalination. No, it was like dirty water they treated with some chemical to clean it up.
And he pretty much said like, no, I'm not stupid. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to drink it.
Or was it pesticide? What the fuck was it? There was like it's safe enough. Like people were like, why the fuck would we spray this on our crops? It's like, it's safe enough to drink. Like, all right, here, drink it, cunt.
Yeah. Do you think I'm an idiot?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not stupid. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
So, interesting ventures of this Monsanto business over the years. Big business ventures, these people. Starting off, as I said, in 1940, around organizing an atomic bomb. Quite a bohemian meetup, as it was discussed in the Bohemian Grove, the Manhattan Project, to kill heaps of Asians in World War II by dropping those nukes in Pearl
Later
Harbor.
Nagasaki.
And
Speaking of which, we're going to be enjoying a nice Japanese meal tonight.
I can't wait. We can eat buffet. And
Suck it to me.
yeah. And so that's the first thing. So you got this food chemical company, whatever the fuck they are, making bombs for the war. Like, you know, that's a fucking red flag right there.
Little bombs in your fucking tomato basket.
That's it. And then what comes after that? Oh yeah, we've got the Vietnam War coming up. Let's make some Agent Orange.
Very cute, huh? Agent Orange. Referencing the crops as well.
Something like that, some may say. Agent Clockwork Orange.
We need the GIMP for that one.
Yeah, we do. And yeah, so, you know, and we know what after effects that shit did on the Vietnamese
But millions
people.
of people, it fucking affected them. They basically died, and people had long-lasting effects, health effects from it as well.
Yeah. So that's another big red flag. Then we fast forward a bit, 1990, Monsanto spends millions of dollars to defeat a national and federal legislation to deny that this company will continue and producing and dumping dioxins and pesticides, which you mentioned before, in the drinking water. So maybe that's what the whole tie-in was with the whole drink this water cup.
Look, if all this shit that's come out, if you guys aren't using like a fucking filter, like a 7-stage, 9-stage, whatever filter, get on that shit because who knows what the fuck. You got fluoride in the water here in Australia, right? Cool, your teeth are not rotting, but your insides are. Your pineal gland's being calcified. Get that. What the fuck is all this shit, bro? We can't even drink a nice... That Mount Franklin shit. I'm going to go on Mount Franklin's ass right now. That shit's battery acid.
I drank a bottle of water the other day that tasted like shit. Like actual like sewage. Like
And it could be treated, desalinated shit water.
Do you know what they probably did? You know, like back in the science experiments, they got like fun with the mud, and you get clear water underneath in the beaker.
Yeah.
It's probably like fun with the shit, but you get clear water, but it's still shit. So you got the taste of shit.
Shit soup. One of those ones.
Yeah. And as you mentioned before, they were involved in this whole gas for the Holocaust.
Yeah, so Bayer was part of IG Farben. What did they do? Enjoy your gas.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about the
Flash
gas
ones.
you do after a nice splurge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come down a bit more to see another interesting partnership with another chemical company with introducing into the food market aspartame. And why is this bad? Because some may say it creates cancer. It's not authorized by the FDA. But let's just put it in your food. We'll give you cancer. Let's do it because we're fucking chemical pharmaceutical companies at the end of the day. And where are you going to go to get your cancer treatment from? Us. So let's fuck you and then heal you.
So
Or
it's
not.
Double fisting.
But who cares? Because we're depopulation people anyway. So go and fuck off then.
Look, what am I going to say?
You can't say anything. Then we've got 1995, fucking Woody's Roundup. I'm not talking about Sheriff Woody rounding up the cows on Toy Story. We're talking about that Roundup crop, fucking ready Roundup crop shit, whatever the fuck that is.
Roundup, the weed killer, isn't it? Or some
Yeah.
shit?
Causes brain cancer.
Another one, add it to the list.
Yeah.
That's okay, spread on your shit.
Let's just put it on our corn, put it on soybeans, whatever.
So then you got those leaked
Rape seeds, whatever they are. Rapes.
Then you got the leaked Monsanto emails. Basically came out that like they were admitting that this fucking Roundup shit was causing cancer. Some fucking Hodgkin's lymphoma for you.
Interesting.
Slap that on you.
Add it to the list. Interesting one that I stumbled across was this bee apocalypse. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, the bees are going extinct, right?
Yeah, because apparently, with the natural fruits and shit, whatever they are, that like the non-GMO ones, they'll need to self-pollinate, which means it's asexual the bee because apparently it gives birth by fucking itself. And they can't do it anymore because they're GMO, so you can't get the natural
what's going on?
birth.
What? The GMO fruit is causing bees to fuck themselves.
No, they're causing bees to like get extinct because bees self-pollinate, whatever.
Well, they pollinate plants, right? They go from one plant to another collecting pollen, and doing so they help the plant breed.
Yeah, so imagine going on a non-pure plant.
Yeah. And the bee fucks it.
Well, it's asexual, isn't it?
Fucking bees.
Anyway, and what's this thing you found about some Argentina? thing?
Argentina getting fucked left, right, and center. You thought that'd be getting a handout.
Yeah, we
Sorry.
saved the Nazis.
Save the Nazis, get a handout. Monsanto comes in. Thanks for the help, guys. Have this shit on your head. Here's some crops free of, here you go, free of charge, right? What happens? They start growing the crops, start eating the crops. Hypothyroidism goes through the roof. Respiratory illness goes through the roof. Different types of cancer goes through the roof. And I've got images. I'm going to put them in the show notes. Kids are coming out with spots and shit. Like it's a different breed of human. Can I pull it up quickly just so we can have a little reaction on what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up some photos and have a look at these fucking...
Oh my God.
Billie Jean is not my lover. Holy... Okay, fuck off with the pop-ups. You got people. This must be from hypothyroidism. Skin and bone. You got kids coming out looking like E.T., right? And I'm not referencing the fucking previous episode we had talking about aliens. Like, look at this.
That's not right.
So Argentina is getting motherfucked by Monsanto.
And then so they pretty much as that famous movie quote goes, they pretty much said to the people there, whatever you're reaching for better be some crops because you're gonna have to eat it.
What movie is that
I
from?
can't remember.
Super Size Me, I think.
Anyway,
Then we got like this fucking psyop, like this predictive programming mindfuck that's going on. Bill Gates is coming out 6 years ago. He said all crops will be GMO to end world hunger by 2030.
interesting, because that's when Agenda 21 kicks in.
So using global warming as an excuse for pushing GMOs so they can fucking make you ingest this shit that's been altered and God knows what and fuck you up.
Do you know, I think Oregon, the state of Oregon banned livestock or some shit because the cows farting,
What do you like?
causes climate change. So, what's it called? Don't worry, you don't need cows. We've got these plant-based meats.
Enjoy your fucking deficiencies, cunt.
Yeah. Doesn't also help that Billis Chungus has invested so much money.
Doesn't he have like 500,000 shares of Monsanto as well?
He's got it in Monsanto. He's got it in Impossible Foods, whatever, Beyond Meat, like all these companies. Anyway, that cunt's got money everywhere.
Shouldn't that name Impossible Foods be like a red flag as well? Like this shit is impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible to eat this shit.
It's like
It tastes like
impossible to
shit.
make. So what the fuck have they done to make it?
Well, funny you ask that, because some may say this whole plant-based meat shit is let's just backtrack it around, because you got people walking into like knowing about GMOs and waking up to like what impact they have on us. And you got other people speaking about eating alternative meats. So what do you do when you go shopping? Some may say. So we've got Exhibit A, your local
Supermarket, I don't know, fucking.
shopper. She sees Beyond Meat item at the supermarket. Let me read it. Oh, what's this? GMO free. Okay, I'll buy it since Nicole Kidman has and says how nice it is.
We all know she's got a high libido, so.
So now these plant-based companies are using synthetic biology, aka GMO 2.0, because unlike GMOs, you don't have to say it's synthetic biology when you're labeling it, because it's okay under the FDA.
Get fucked today.
Get fucked today. So, Beyond Meats or Impossible Foods or whatever the fuck, which ones you're looking at, like, they don't state, they're like, their websites, they don't say that their foods are vegan or vegetarian. They just say it's plant-based. Because some would assume that plant-based means good for vegetarians, which is wrong, because it just means the plant, that the food is based on the plant, so it could contain meat.
So it could be a 99% vegetable, but
Yeah.
chucking a little bit of meat in there, like still plant-based.
Of course, because one of its main ingredients in the meat is genetically modified heme. And Dr. Michael Essien, and that's not the Chelsea striker from back in the day, he once said, and this is a scientist at Impossible Foods, in order to provide tasty alternatives to animal meat made from plants, you need lots of heme. And to get a lot of heme, you need genetic engineering.
Okay, so
So what is heme?
they claim, right, that the heme they get is from the roots of soy plants,
Yeah.
right? So they're saying GMO free, but to get the heme from soy plants, you got to put it through some fermentation genetic engineering process. So that's a GMO. So they're just fucking lying to you right there.
No, it's synthetic biology.
No, sorry.
So yeah, so apparently there is a theory that HEK 293, and that's not my
Number plate.
my number plate. These cells, they're cells, and they're used in plant-based meats. And to get them to look at what they look like, because like let's not fuck around. Like I know a veggie burger when I see
Or that lentil and fucking
it looks like
chickpeas compressed.
it looks like something that comes out of a rhino's asshole.
It looks like it looks like building material.
Yeah, like that's what a veggie burger looks like. And then like you see these Impossible Meats burgers, whatever they are, just oozing like it's
Juicy.
a nice burger. Like it looks like a nice burger that you'd fuck with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or fuck if you're into
Fucking burgers.
fucking burgers.
Taurus coming on soon.
Yeah. So also like the FDA once quoted Because of the extremely small amounts used, the HEK293 cells do not have to be disclosed to the end consumer. So what is this HEK293 cell? So if you look it up, whatever, it's pretty much part of aborted fetuses.
Whoa, we're going to be crazy here.
So that's it. That's a theory thrown out there. But funny how it ties in. Because Impossible Foods is across the road to a Planned
It's
Parenthood.
literally a minute walk.
Yeah.
You can throw the baby across the street.
Yeah, if you really wanted to. And if you want to look it up, we've got, I'll put a photo in, but 3419 Lakeshore Avenue, Oakland, California. Look it up. It's across the road to 8480 Enterprise Way, Oakland. Nancy Pelosi's stomping ground. And then we have another one with Beyond Meat, which being around the corner to a Planned Parenthood clinic as well.
What the fuck?
I'll chuck that up as well.
There's some crazy connections.
So that's a food for thought. If you see where I'm going, food for thought.
Food for thought, right
Yeah.
there. And just another little thing I wanted to end this on, since we're coming up to the end. You're putting GMOs in your vaginas, people. Well, you're women.
Thank God I don't have a vagina.
Some people put tampons in their arsehole if they've got hemorrhoids. So in that case, be careful, because in October 2015, a team of Argentinian scientists, and we know
Where did Argentina come out of nowhere?
they're getting fucked, so they're trying to fuck Monsanto back. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Conducted a study right on tampons, and they found traces of glyphosate in 85% of personal care and feminine hygiene products. So anything that contains GMO Monsanto cotton is basically fucking got this cancer-causing chemical, right? And the research was conducted by a multidisciplinary team from the National University of La Plata and was presented at the 3rd National Congress of Doctors of Fumigated Peoples. So almost 100% of the cotton produced in Argentina, as we said, big GMO country, right, is transgenic, and glyphosate applications are made open cocoon, right? Some fucking weed cotton shit, right? And this glyphosate cancer-causing shit was found in 85% of the products containing cotton bought in pharmacies and supermarkets. So don't go buy a tampon in Argentina. Who knows? It could be in your part of the world as well. And your babies was found in their diapers as well.
Handy. I bet you this is also found in these face masks that people are wearing as well.
That's a theory as well.
So,
And some are saying...
But then again, if you wear a face mask, one of those ones.
And people are saying we are becoming GMOs with these mRNA vaccines.
That is true. Because we can be able to be activated when we want. But it's more like synthetic biology.
Yeah, sorry, not GMO.
Yeah. And in saying that, all our show notes, ghostnutspodcast.com, we've got the documents, they're there.
Look, don't doubt us. I've got fucking elbow pads on today. Look at this shit. You know when someone's got fucking elbow pads on, they're either a pedophile or they know their shit.
And we'll leave that up to the audience, but ghostnutspodcast.com. Pretty much quick summary, GMOs, synthetic biology, plant-based, anything that's involved with Henry Kissinger, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos,
Nazi Germany.
Just it's you're crossing you're walking the plank. And as they say
I'm leaving this one to you. You can take this one.
And as they say in India, we got the crops, we got the stocks, we got the shit, but we're dead.
Rest in peace. And you just reminded me, we've got the stocks. Hold that AMC and GameStop, boys. We're going to the moon.
Ghostnuts, motherfucker.
Ghostnuts. Podcast, boys.
Are they discussing this on the Ghostnuts podcast? Are you? You guys need to break this fucking down.
Get to the chopper! Kill your fucking selves, you fucking globalists!
We can't see them, they can't see us.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
God, I love those Ghostnuts.